Right then, welcome back to the channel. There's been some stuff sort of breaking over the last 24 hours or so, so I thought I'd do a quick roundup again and see where we're at in terms of what could be happening in terms of transfers. I'm going to try and go live when I get up, so it's like midnight for me now as I'm pushing this out, which is 8 a.m. UK, so you guys are probably going to get it in about an hour or so once it gets released. When I get up tomorrow morning, I'm probably going to come try and do a live, so that'll be like 5 or 6 o'clock your time today. So let me know if you'd like us to do that, and if something's broken, we definitely will do that. So here's what's going on. The PSG are open to a loan with an obligation to buy for Manuel Ugarte. Personal terms were agreed with United 2 weeks ago. Now, I don't know where I got the figure of 20 mil from. That might have been a loan fee, but I was clearly absolutely miles away wherever I heard it, that it was going to be like 20 million or something for Ugarte. I was like, oh my God, yeah, class. They're talking 70s. That's crazy. But if United can do a deal here, if there's actually anything in Sancho to PSG, this is the conversation United need to be having, don't they? Just let Sancho go, let us take him, we'll call it quits. I think that'd be absolutely massive for Manchester United if we could do that. They might not go for it. The valuation that we put on Sancho might not be the right one, but you got to go and throw it in there, aren't you, and see what happens. United are probably also considering Sofian Amrabat independent of other deals. Now, that's a really, really interesting point, because I thought Amrabat must be like third or fourth on our list somewhere, but apparently not. Now, if you manage to get Ugarte in and Amrabat, you've actually sorted the midfield out there, I think. I think you've really sorted the midfield out there. I think that's nice if you manage to get that done. McTominay's future could influence United's other midfield signings. Now, you would presume that means like Amrabat, but not necessarily, because the Ugarte one could hinge on whether McTominay stays or goes. But if they're saying that Amrabat is independent of other deals, then it sounds like United are just trying to do a deal with Fiorentina that makes sense for us. But I still find it interesting. Now, on Scott McTominay, Fulham have improved the offer for Scott McTominay. Or they're going to improve their offer after they've signed Emile Smith-Rowe. West Ham are in advanced talks with Wan-Bissaka, and that looks like it's close to agreement. And that, I do think, links in with Noussair Mazraoui's move from Bayern to Manchester United. He's already agreed a 5-year deal with the club. So I think that one is very, very close to being agreed. I just wonder if they want the Wan-Bissaka contract written out and signed before we push the button on getting Mazraoui over the line. Rabiot has rejected Liverpool because he's waiting to join Manchester United, which is great. Again, like I can't imagine Rabiot, Amrabat, and Ugarte all come in, but that would leave us with a very, very stacked midfield, wouldn't it? Which doesn't feel very much like us. Now, with De Ligt, he's confirmed his desire to join Manchester United remains. Personal term agreement is still valid. Just waiting for United to do the deal and get it over the line with Bayern Munich. So, Manuel Ugarte, when he comes in, what impact is that going to have on the squad? I think he brings something that this squad currently doesn't have, which is a specialist sort of destroyer that's going to sit in and protect and prevent stuff going on. So I like that. I think he's a real good signing. How does he fit into the game tactically for United? I think you would see United have a midfield 3, a 6, 8 and 10. Probably Ugarte, Menu and Bruno. How Mason Mount fits into that, I don't know. I think gone are the days of just your best 11. I think your best 11 is 15, 16 players now, which does make it really difficult, because you want to do this is our best 11 content, which is really difficult when you're like, yeah, I have 15 in my best 11. Doesn't go. What I think it does is it gives you tactical flexibility. It allows cover. It allows form and injuries and all that sort of stuff. Amrabat. I find it quite strange how United are so keen. Unless we think we can absolutely lowball Fiorentina, it didn't really work out. Through the sort of bulk of the middle of the season, when he wasn't injured and just wasn't being selected, what was the reason behind that, and why did Ten Hag choose not to play him? We saw we saw both sides of Amrabat towards the back end of the season when he did get brought in. He came in, had a couple of real solid... oh, sorry, excuse me. It's midnight. I'm tired. And yes, you can see how sunburnt the face is. It doesn't look too bad here, to be honest, but in other light, you can see the sunglasses I've been wearing, which is an absolute nightmare, isn't it? We had a bit of a day in the sun today. So there was clearly reasons for him not playing Amrabat or whatever. He chose not to play Amrabat for the bulk of the centre of the season. When he came into the team, he had a couple of real good games off the back foot, real solid defensive games, and then had a couple of stinkers, and then finished nice and strong. So it's a real weird one. I think he would be a good option if you can get him cheap. They're saying it's not going to affect other transfer plans. I don't see how it couldn't. You know, and then you obviously got the Rabiot stuff as well. Like, what's going on with there? What advantages does he bring to midfield? I think he brings quality and experience. Is he a bell, though? Is that going to be an issue? Do we have to work with his mum? Is his wages going to be too much? You know, is there issues with consistency? Oh, sorry. Or off the field stuff. You know, I don't see how you can say it's not linked. Now, Scott McTominay goes and Casemiro goes, bringing in Ugarte, Amrabat, and Rabiot. I'd be there for that, to be honest. I think that'd be quite sensible from a United point of view. I think Wan-Bissaka and Mazraoui is just a one-for-one. It's obviously very different in terms of what they offer. I don't think there's too much in Mazraoui and Dalot, you know. And that I find quite interesting how that sort of dynamic is going to shake out, because between the two of them, they've got the skill set to sort of play right back for Manchester United. Neither world class, but both in the very good kind of category. And I think Dalot actually genuinely really gives a toss about Manchester United, and that goes a long way for me. So it'd be interesting to see what Mazraoui is coming to bring. And then you've still got De Ligt's desire to join. So there's clearly a little bit of a buzz in world football about the project Manchester United are undergoing at the moment. Players are wanting to join us. And maybe that's always been the case. And maybe the times we were rejected was because the packages that was going out to agents and the sell. We know what happened with Matt Judge and Achraf Hakimi. We know what happened there. And just because we know what happened in that one, you know, it was me that put that out publicly, what happened with him. Like, and I don't know everything that's going on. So I knew about that one that went on. And if you're not aware, I did talk about this, 6-7 years ago, I think. Poch was still at Tottenham. So Hakimi came to Spurs, and Poch basically took him on a date at the Spurs stadium. They had lunch in one of the executive suites overlooking the pitch, where Poch himself, on his own, sat with him and explained to him how he sees him in the squad, how he'd like to work with him, blah, 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 blah. He goes to... United have got an office in London in Mayfair. He goes to the office in London in Mayfair, and Matt Judge sits with him, and this is the rumour, is he sits with him and starts asking him, I think he asked him how many caps he had or something like that, or he wasn't quite sure who he was, or something in that sort of ballpark with him. And the agent that was with Hakimi at the time basically stopped the meeting and was like, listen, here's what's just happened at Tottenham, here's what's happening here. It's not going to happen. And the thing is, Hakimi is a United fan. So if you can't convince United fans because of your complete ineptitude, you know, more recently we've obviously seen Rio get involved in bringing transfers over and like getting Euro over the line. We just haven't been putting in that level of thought and detail to stuff. And it absolutely matters. Absolutely matters. So are we now just operating like we should have done? And was we just inefficient and incapable and deficient in those areas previously? And is that why, you know, and we also know Ed Woodward liked the public chase for stuff. He thought there was some kudos in publicly quoting all these different players, where clearly, as fans, we know it's better that we don't know. That's the best for us. We have a clue. All we get is, yes, he's signing. Bosh. The way it's gone recently with with Xerxes and that this year, and Euro this year, where it's like, there's been a little bit of noise, very, very little bit of noise, and then it's like a couple of days before it actually happens, like, it kind of picks up and it's done. That's excellent for me. Not this 18-month courtship and feeling like it's just dragging on and dragging on all the time. There's a good list here. I don't feel like any of these are dragging on. Delete. Personal terms. We're not barking up a tree that doesn't want to know. Personal terms are agreed. Just got to sort out the fine details with Bayern. Rabiot. He's chinned off Liverpool because he wants to sign for United. He's on a free. If we want to do the deal, we'll do the deal. The ball is in our court on this one. Mazraoui, it's done. Like, that's going to happen. I think they're just waiting for Wan-Bissaka to leave so they don't end up lumbered with more centre of right back than they can deal with. Amrabat, ball's in our court. He clearly wants to stick around. There's a fee agreed, and we've decided we want to go lower than the fee agreed. I like it. And then Ugarte, there's a big fee involved. United have obviously got to fuck around with this, that, and the other. There's a loan on the cards. We're asking PSG if they want a loan. I'm pretty content with how all this is going. I don't feel like this is dragging on. I think there's an urgency sort of developed because of what's gone on with Euro. And I think there's a bit of an urgency in midfield because, as I've been saying most of this week, we haven't actually improved the squad yet. We've signed a couple of players, but we've not improved the squad yet. Some of these being completed. If we went in and we got Ugarte, let's say Mazraoui and Wan-Bissaka goes. Let's say we get Rabiot and McTominay goes. And let's say Delete. I'll leave Amrabat. I'll leave him off. But let's say you get Delete in. Has that improved the squad? Yes, we have improved the squad. Now, have we improved enough to challenge? I don't think so. But we've improved the squad, which is a great start for me. So I'm pretty chill with how this is going. I don't see the panic. I don't see the dramas yet. By the way, I saw the Sun's Facebook post. I don't even follow him. I hate the way Facebook just shows you stuff because you've got an interest in one thing. Man United set to leave Old Trafford was the headline. How do they twist this shit? We know what's going on with Old Trafford. There's a new stadium going to be built basically at the same place. The phraseology that they're using is designed to fucking cause outrage. And I'm fucking sick of them. Anyway, hope what day are we on here for you lot now? We've just finished Monday, haven't we? You guys are starting Tuesday. Have a good Tuesday. I'm getting my head down. See you in a bit. Bye-bye.